Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Corpboy back at it again with another video, and like I've been talking for the last couple of days, is I'm gonna finally do a finals video. I'm gonna talk about the game, talk about my personal experience with it. If you guys can't tell by this point, I haven't put a lot of hours into this game, especially compared to the beta, which I played, I think, damn near the entire time that it was running. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be talking about it quite a bit today, talking about my feelings on the game so far, and where I would like to see the game go in the future, and where I think it could be improved, and what I do like about the game. Because honestly, there is some really good stuff about this game, but there's also some things that I really do think for a long term effect with the game, I think it definitely needs to have some look at and things that need to be updated and fixed and maybe added to the game as well. So I honestly just want to dive into that, see kind of what your all's opinion are on it as well. I know the game has been actually just popping the fuck off in recent weeks since it's released, or since its release, and it's been kind of a mixed bag, I think, for a lot of people. Because I have friends that I've talked to that I really enjoyed the beta of the game, and with the full game have been like, it's there, it came out for sure, and I'm kind of in that same ballpark right now of where I'm like, yeah, it came out. There was a beta that was pretty fun, and then the game came out, and I haven't really cared much since. And I'm also going to be running the medium class because I've come to the conclusion that the light class is damn near fucking useless. Especially in the solo mode, it feels pretty fucking pointless. Um, but this the first thing that I want to talk about is the character design in this game. Is I don't know what it is about this game, and this goes for the full thing. Not even just the character design, but everything feels fucking okay. I'm not gonna focus on this fucking fight right now. I have things to talk about, brother. Yep. But the game just feels fucking lifeless, to be honest. Like, something about this game just feels like dead. Um, like the character designs, how the voices are done, and from last thing that I knew is that all the voice acting in the game is AI, which is super fucking disappointing. Okay, I I gotta turn these. I what? Why would you not just go the way that I point my mouse at? Yeah, that should have been a kill, but that game will be, I guess. But that's like my biggest thing with this game is like it just felt fucking okay. I gotta turn this down. This shit is so loud. I thought I had it like tuned pretty good. Dialogue volume. I'm taking that shit down all the way. I hate hearing the voices in this game. Okay, I'm turning this down a little bit just cause that shit was loud as hell. But yeah, like the game just feels like dead. I don't know why, but everything about it just feels completely fucking like, why is it even here? And I feel like that's a horrid effect to have from a fucking game of all things, especially like, when you're trying to make this game like super, oh my god, like full of life and everything, and keep it like in a good standing. Like it's fucking weird. Um, like I don't hear the characters talk or whoever the two announcers are, like it. I'm just like, damn, that wasn't fun to hear. Like it doesn't feel engaging at all, which I think is a huge thing for games, and especially dialogue in games is it has to feel engaging, and it doesn't. Like every time I hear these characters talk, I'm just like, why are you speaking? What's the point of you? Um, and that I think that's just a huge thing with me that just it takes away from the game. It feels super fucking just, I don't know, big baseline, I guess. Another thing to talk about, one thing that I think was really big for me is this game is fucking predictable as hell. And I'm talking about that from a gunplay perspective, and I've had this conversation with a couple of friends of mine, and they seemingly all pretty much agree that whenever like I'm interacting with gunplay in this game, it feels fucking pointless, and it feels like I always know who is going to win. It's either one, the person who knows how to jump the most, or if it's a class difference, it's who has the most health every fucking time. Unless you get to drop on somebody, that's not typically like the case. But this game, if I'm running into a firefight face to face, if I'm playing as a medium, I know I'm always going to win against a lightweight player. Or if I run into a heavy, if I'm running in a face to face, if we have no abilities that we are using and we're just fighting, I'm more than likely going to lose that fight. Um, It is just a sheer thing based off of class, stature, and your health pool. And that's genuinely just boring. It doesn't add for a lot of variety of gunplay. It definitely makes the game feel very one-sided, especially in this new free-for-all mode. I'm like, damn, this feels... Like, I feel like you have to run medium class or you're just losing every fucking time. Which I think is super fucking stupid. I'm like, I don't enjoy that. That's not what I look for in an FPS game. It also takes away from a lot of competitive feel in the game. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, well, you haven't played, like, since the release, or, like, a lot's changed. But even now playing it, I played a couple of games before this, and I feel the exact same way as I felt whenever it initially came out was, wow, what the fuck's the point of this? Like, there's no reason for it. And even, like, despite my issues like that, the health system of the game, because I feel like it's ridiculous, and it especially affects, I think, the lightweight the most, is when it comes to the sniping aspect of this game. One, lightweight being the only class that has a sniper is fucking insane to me. I figured that'd be a more medium class thing, since snipers are typically a bit more beefy. But it isn't. It's on the lightweight class, and for whatever reason, if you run the sniper in this game, there's literally no reason to. I have not found a single reason to run snipers in this game, because you can't one-shot any of the classes except the lightweight, and you have to hit a headshot. So if you shoot a medium in the head with the sniper, guess what? They have 20 health left. And you had one shot, and you're more likely not going to line up another one because they're already going to be shooting you by the time you get ready up that other shot. Unless you're shooting from, like, the top of a building. Which, in a game like this, I don't see it being super fucking viable. And kind of just, like, playing it really slow. I don't think this game is supposed to be played that way. It's clearly a fast-paced, kind of more arcadey shooter. Which is cool, nonetheless. Like, I love in theory how this game would flow. Because it should be really fast-paced, in your face, but also it feels one-sided, like I said. It feels like you have to run a certain type of class and setup, or you're going to lose every time. And I guess that also kind of leads me into talking about the objective play of the game. To be honest, I don't see a point for it. With only mean like, oh, bank money to do this and this. It kind of feels super fucking stale most of the time, and I'm not a fan of it at all. And mostly that comes from the fact of, like, the money is pointless. One thing I was hoping for with this game was, I was like, oh, that'd be really cool if they had it, like, where, you know, like, oh, you collected this much money into the game, split it amongst the 3 players, or each player gets that exact amount of money, and they can use that in turn to buy, like, attachments, or skins, or weapons, and stuff like that. Kind of like how, for example, like Black Ops 1 did back in the day with the COD point system, where all your COD points that you made from every single game can be used to buy weapons, attachments, camos, and whatever else you wanted to equip. This game doesn't do that. There's like this fucking currency that you get at the end of every single game, depending on your placement, and that's what you use to buy equipment and such. But even then, the equipment feels super bare bones. Like, each class has a couple different weapons they can use, a couple of different gadgets they can throw on, and I think they all have 3 abilities each that they can use as, like, their big ability. Like, it just feels super, like, it feels to a degree rushed. Even though the game, it feels really good to play, it has, like, clearly a sustainable impact, and, okay, that's also fucking another thing to fucking complain about in a minute. But yeah, it feels like everything's just super baseline and out the gate, and, like, I'm not saying that as a way to demote the game or to make it sound absolutely horrible, because it's things that I want to point that I hope do get fixed, and things that I would like to, if they do get fixed, touch up on in the future, or maybe just never play the game again if they don't, because the game clearly does have a player base that does thoroughly enjoy the game, and I do want them to continue building upon that. But there's so much that just feels really fucking left out in the full scheme of things. Like I said, I feel like the gadgets and everything, and we'll take a look at that as we head back into the menu of the gadgets, the weapons, and all that, because they all feel like, I don't know, it just feels odd. It feels kind of pointless, to be completely honest with you. And it doesn't give a lot of replayability. Like, okay, so here we have, let's see, we'll look at light class. They have 9 weapons, 12 gadgets, and 3 specializations. Medium, 6 weapons, 14 gadgets, 3 specializations. It's another 6, 11, 3. And that's spanning across all your classes. And I want to remind you, if you haven't played the game yet, there is no way of modifying or changing any of these, other than some pretty basic camos with one. And as someone who doesn't even play COD anymore, it's a blatant ripoff of Polyatomic from the Modern Warfare series. But all the camos feel super fucking baseline. All of them are the same. It's just a single color wave. And I don't understand why the one that you have as the max level looks like this. First, it looks like I dropped it on the concrete and scraped it up a little bit, so I don't fucking get that. It looks ugly as hell. But the ones you get before it look significantly better, but are also kind of super basic. And then all of that's the earnable ones. And then there's also the buyable ones, which, of course, look better. Like, can we get an update on this? Can we actually have, like, a grind that's worthwhile? Because if you were trying to tell me that is worthwhile, you actually are fucking lying to me. This genuinely looks like, to be honest, just shit. I don't know what it looks like in game, but at least from this, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't cover the full weapon. It looks like I dropped it, scraped it, and dragged it across the ground. And it's just nothing special to go for. There's really not even anything fun about going for it either, at least from my personal experiences of playing the game. I feel like it's, kind of just like, yeah, you play, get XP, and you earn these. There's really nothing about it that is, like, super, like, enjoyable or screaming at me that I need to, continue fucking grinding this game hard as hell. And right here's another thing I want to talk about that's super fucking weird to me. One, either give me a class system or make it to where I can just click on this and switch my weapon out. I'm not, like, this is the weirdest fucking set to me where it's like, oh yeah, I gotta remember to have this in my reserve so that I can switch to it if needed. It's super fucking weird to me. It feels super awkward whenever I'm playing because I'm like, oh, I want to equip this. Oh, I didn't equip that in another menu. So I just don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me personally. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking forgot. Another thing I want to talk about the main objective of the game as well. Not only does it feel pointless because I feel like the money has no fucking say in anything because, like, you're capped out at 3,000, but also, that's just that you get at the end of the game. That has nothing to do with how much you banked. I mean, it does, like, for winning, but not much after that. Also, though, the objective feels kind of pointless because there doesn't really seem to be a proper leveling system in the game or even a really decent XP system that really gives you much of anything other than, like, a few cosmetics. Which cosmetics, as cool as they are, I love a cosmetic in game, and I was just talking about this on stream today, I love good cosmetics. But the cosmetics in this game that you earn from leveling up are fucking just boring out the gate, just to say it. Like, they're just boring. All the stuff that actually looks good in this game, you have to spend money on, which I personally don't like, and there's really nothing to seek after in this game. I keep trying to find it, but there's nothing to seek after. There's no attachments for weapons, so all the gunplay feels very one-dimensional. It doesn't have a lot of flow to it that it makes it interesting, and once you've played with every weapon, you kind of just know, like, what's good, and that's all you're gonna fucking end up using from that then on out. Like I said, it doesn't add for a lot of different playability and a lot of different things to throw in. It's like, okay, these are the good weapons on each one of these characters. Just use that weapon, use this ability, and use these gadgets for these modes and these engagements. Like I said, it just makes the game feel super one-dimensional and kind of lifeless, and I kind of really don't like that about this game. I feel like a lot more work can be put into it to make it better. One would be, like, a proper thing to actually earn as a player. Give me shit to equip and to earn to be like, oh, I did this part of the grind. There should always be something like that in especially a multiplayer game, to show what kind of player you are. Like, show that you put in the hours to get this. Like, for example, we've been doing the Halo Hero rank grind, and a big thing for that is getting that armor core and getting all the little things that you can display to be like, oh, I hit the max fucking level. It took a lot of grinding, but I hit it. Or, for example, with COD having, like, the mastery camos, and yes, there's a mastery camo in this game, but it's literally a shitty copy of a COD camo. Like, there has to be more. Like, I feel like this game could have some really, really cool shit, and this game could be genuinely really fucking good. but it's just missing something, and I don't necessarily know what it is that it's missing. It's just a lot. It feels very baseline, very just like, yep, we made a game. That's every time that I have hopped onto this game and played it, that is what I feel. I feel like they just kind of hurry up and made something, and this is what we got out of it. Which, honestly, isn't super fulfilling. It just feels boring and kind of lifeless, and I think if things don't get added to this game and they don't look at a lot of these things that are in the game, it's not going to have a long lifespan. This game will last maybe a month or two, maybe a little bit longer, and then people are going to be like, oh, well, there's something else to play. And I feel like that's the issue with a lot of these games that come out like this that try to compete with games like Call of Duty. And even as someone who doesn't play COD anymore, I would like to see a game actually be a competitor to that. But I think a lot of these studios don't take it seriously and just kind of like do a lot of baseline shit and not really make something unique and, you know, that's unique to its own character and style and shit. Oh, bink. Okay, I fucking 3-tapped him. Also, another thing I want to talk about with the free-for-all mode that's added is please really go to update the health regeneration for free-for-all, or add to each character a gadget that can heal them, because this health regen timer is actually fucking annoying as hell. I know, like I said, a lot of the fights feel one-dimensional, and it really depends on your class that you're playing, it feels like a lot of the time, but listen, you can't do anything cool in this game when you can only take one fight at a time, and then you have to sit there for 5 minutes and fucking heal. It really does not add for anything enjoyable. So please buff that to a degree. Like, that would be cool just to make games feel more fluid and more, like, speedy and chaotic. Like, I feel like this game is supposed to be chaotic, and at times I have, like, so much downtime that it doesn't feel that way, and I feel bored. Like, I don't know, it's super weird. This game is such a weird middle ground for me of, like, I really want to like it, but there's a lot that needs to be fixed before I like it. And that kind of sucks because I remember playing the beta whenever it initially dropped, and I was like, this game is fucking awesome. If the beta was a telltale for the future, I was like, damn, there's going to be a lot of cool shit added to this game that I hope to see. And then I switched from the beta to playing the actual game a little bit, and I was like, I'm literally just playing the beta again. Another thing is, like, a lot of these maps have, like, different effects that happen, and it doesn't feel like anything. Like, there's, like, the meteor shower, there's, what is it, the orbital laser and all that shit, and I don't feel like it affects anything in-game. Like, whenever I heard, like, oh, there's an orbital laser about to strike, I was feeling, like, a huge change in, like, the momentum of the game, of, like, how people were playing, but I was like, no, this literally changed fucking, like, if I stand still for a second, there's gonna be a laser that shoots through the wall and probably not even hit me, because I don't think I've seen a single person take damage from the fucking thing. It just, I was like, what's the point of that even being in the game? Like, you're just making an inconvenience. And at that, a very fucking minor one. So I just was like, okay, like, yeah, that's happening. But for what reason? Because, like, nothing's changed. Which, honestly, it's super fucking disappointing, because I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Or, like, when the meteorite happened, I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna, like, completely change how this mode's being played. Nope, yet again, was let down of, nope, nothing fucking changed. It feels the exact same. I was about to say, if I do not kill this motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking eat my hand. Yeah, bye, dummy. But yeah, like, a lot of the abilities feel pretty fun. Like, this fucking whole, like, hop thing is pretty fucking cool, I would say so. Okay, I haven't got this one yet. The low gravity seems kind of cool. It'd be cool if it took you a little bit higher. I feel like it's just my normal jump height. Yet again, that adds into my thing of, like, where's all the shit that could be cool? Because there's not a lot of it, at least as it feels currently. But, like, overall, like, this isn't my video to shit talk the game, but there are a lot of issues with this game, I think, especially for the foreseeable future. And it seems like the game has had a pretty big dip in things recently. It seems like a lot of people aren't playing it as much as they used to. Like, my whole Twitch page was filled with the finals for a minute there, and now not really that much. Like I said, I think the game has a lot of potential. I just feel like it's missing a lot of things that a lot of FPSs that I do play already offer me that make the games more fulfilling. And I hope that's things that get looked at and fixed in the future. And if I'm not mistaken, the game has a pretty solid dev team behind it. If I'm not saying, it's people who've worked on Payday 2 and also Battlefield 3 and 4, which is, I think, super fucking awesome personally. And I think could really make for this game being a personal, like, all-time favorite FPS game. It just needs some love, is really all it needs, is some things to make it a little bit better and things to make this game feel more completed, because for me personally, I think in the state that it's in, it doesn't feel completed. And that's really all I want to see. I just want to see this game actually thrive and be good. I would like to see another competitor on the FPS market that people can go and pick up, because I mean, I like just having more shit to play that's enjoyable, and I really do want to like this game. When it comes to despite the gunplay feeling very one-dimensional, it feels good. Like, the gun's responses feel very good and very different amongst all of them. The movement feels pretty good. There's some stiffness here that I don't like here and there, especially with the sliding and everything. There's definitely some certain points where it feels very, very stiff. But overall, I think the movement feels good. And I think with some small, minute changes to maybe the sliding mechanic, it could feel very, very good. And make this game feel very, like, life. Like, full of life. And that's literally all I want to see from it. Is a game that is full of life and a reason to play. And on top of that, the game visually looks really fucking good. I really like the art style in this game. I especially like a lot of the use of, like, the yellows and blacks and whites. I think it looks really cool and very, like, visually pleasing. It's very bright. Compared to a lot of FPSs we get on the market today that tend to be sometimes a little bit more dull. This game has a very cool color palette. It's very different, and I do like that a lot. Like I said, I just think the game needs some small, minute changes that I really do hope come, that I think could really make this game a huge selling point. I mean, that's one that I can actually revisit frequently and play and have something to grind out and enjoy, on top of the other normal games that I play. You know, COD kind of lost me a couple of years ago with a lot of the changes they made to the series, and I would like to see something take that spot of my itch for a arcadey kind of almost competitive shooter. And I would hope a game like this would do that. If they do, and they do make these changes that I'm talking about, it'll definitely be something that keeps me coming around. But for now, I don't really see the game being something that I play. Like that, I just wanted to hop on here for this video and everything and give it a shot. And talk about it, because the game, I think, deserves some criticisms, but on top of it, deserves a lot of the praises that it's got. I think a lot of the praise it's got is very well justified, and I think it's really cool. Also, another thing I want to add before I go, talking about the gunplay once more, because it does need to be talked about. Make the sniper one-shot headshot on any class. I shouldn't have to put 3 to 4 bullets into somebody to fucking kill them with a rifle. I don't care if you have 300 health or not. Die. Other than that, I'm going to call it here, because we just played our second game out, and it's going to be a little bit of a longer video. If you guys have any, takes or anything on the game and things that I may have missed out, leave it down in the comments below, because I would love to hear it. I'm definitely not looking to start an argument or anything amongst the fan base of this game, because like I said, I really do want this game to do well, and I really do think it has a lot of potential. There's just certain things that it's missing, and I would like to see those things get fixed. Other than that, guys, I'm going to call it for now. I love you all, and, yeah. Go check out the Twitch and everything. I stream damn near daily. It's in the bio. Go check out my music publication. It's also in the bio. Go join the Discord and come say hi. It's also there. I love you all. Later.